My name is Phillip, and I'm a financial coach, and I'm here today to talk about kids and family planning. Well, that's a great question. How do you teach your kids good money habits? I think one of the primary things that parents need to be aware of is kids often mimic the things that their parents do. So one of the things that you could do to teach your kids about good money habits is practice safe and sound management of your own personal finances. So teaching your kids how to manage money, where's a good place to start? Well, obviously, the younger you start with your children, the better. Kids pick up pretty quickly on what you're doing. Simple money concepts can be learned at a very young age, as young as 3. I believe most parents will have an idea. They'll know their kids and what they can understand at an early age. But typically 3 to 5 years of age is when you start teaching your kids concepts about what is money and what can you do with money. Now from there, as the child gets older, again, they are watching their parents and what they do. They are mimicking their parents' behavior. So one of the things that you can teach your kids is sound money management from a perspective of, providing example to them. It's a good thing to talk about what you're doing with your money as you do it. You may be in a grocery store, buying things, you're making decisions, but it's always important to kind of provide example. Your child often looks to you for advice and guidance and just kind of learning the world. So what they're going to do is they're going to pay really close attention to the things that you're doing with money. So take the time to explain what it is you're doing and the reason why you're doing these things with your money. When should I start teaching my kids about credit? Well, again, you know your child best. You know what they can understand and comprehend. But I definitely say preteen is the best time to start talking to your kids about credit, typically the ages of 10 to 12 years old, pre-teenage years. Most public school systems are starting to teach a little bit about personal finances, and you'll be surprised at how much they're actually learning in school. But again, this is the opportunity to put what they're learning in the books into practicality in the real world. So you want to talk to them about what you're doing with your lines of credit, what kind of credit you have, the reasons why you use credit, maybe some wise uses for credit, kind of the basic things. And as your child gets older, you may consider having them be an authorized user on maybe one of your credit cards. That will help start establishing a credit history. And it's always important to also check your child's credit score. Even though they haven't developed a credit history yet, we want to make sure that someone hasn't stolen their identity, okay, and started doing a lot of negative stuff to them before they have even had a chance to start establishing a good credit history. When should we start planning for my child to attend college? It's asking the question, how are we going to pay for this? Well, a basic answer is start as early as possible, saving towards your child's college expenses. And just realize as time goes by, the cost of college is going to increase ever more. So I think you need to first kind of identify your view. Will you be paying for all of your child's college expenses, or will it be a partnership between you and your child? If you look at the partnership as a methodology for paying for college expenses, I typically recommend the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, I guess as an example or a plan in order to pay for college expenses. Now that model is 1/3 will be the parents or guardian's responsibility. 1/3 will be the responsibility of the student in getting student loans, and 1/3 will be the responsibility of the student and parent working together in order to see what kinds of scholarships that the child would apply for and win in the process of trying to obtain free money for college. So that's typically a good methodology. It gives ownership to the parents and to the child. It forms a partnership. When you're starting to save money for college, again, the sooner the better. Now, if you fall into the situation that, oh my gosh, my kid's graduating from high school in 1 year and we haven't even started saving at all, you're really behind the 8 ball, but still, nothing is over until it's over. What you may have to consider is a cheaper option of obtaining college degree credits. Maybe you consider a local community college, okay, where they get their basics out of the way, but they're not paying the full cost of tuition of maybe a 4-year traditional university or even a private college. I can speak from personal experience. I have a child in college, and they're about to graduate with their bachelor's and obtain their master's degree. They go to a private school, and we've had a partnership between my wife and I and our child, and we've used the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 methodology. And it really, my daughter is very proud of what she's been able to accomplish of working part-time while she's in college on campus, earning lots of different scholarships along the way, and even took advantage of a collegiate program in high school. So when she graduated high school, she was able to receive her associate's degree and get a lot of the basics out of the way. So if you live in a school district that offers a collegiate program where you can earn all of the first couple of years of college credit, or maybe just some college credit, look into that. There's lots of things at a lot lower cost when you work with high schools, when you're students in high school, and start planning for college and getting some of those basics out of the way when they're in high school. Well, we hope you have enjoyed this short overview of kids and family planning. Now, we understand that everyone's situation is a little bit different, but to get more personalized information for you and your circumstance, and to get started on creating a financial plan for you and your children, see the video description below for a link to our Budget Buddy page. You can search a list of our Budget Buddies and set up an appointment to meet. This service is free for Resource One Credit Union members.